Would you prefer a sixth World Cup title or Fluminense suddenly winning the Brazilian or Libertadores championship?
Fluminense winning the Libertadores for sure, yeah.
Brazil comes second.
Right, sure, try again in 4 years.
Fernandinho asked, man, basically if you're more of a guy who roots for the Brazilian national team or for Fluminense, because he's already watched some games or a game there with you in the south section in that little corner where you guys stay. And now he wants to know if you root more for Flusão or more for the Brazilian national team, especially during the World Cup.
I'm rooting for the national team, right, Nando? Because Fluminense is on break, right? Otherwise, it would be tough. Yeah, no, I'm a Fluminense fan, but every 4 years, that's how it is, 5 stars.
Would you rather have a sixth World Cup or see Fluminense win the Brazilian championship or Libertadores? Which do you prefer?
Fluminense winning the Libertadores for sure, yeah.
Of course, Brazil comes second.
Right? Yeah, go ahead, try again 4 years later.
Did the guy enjoy last year's Club World Cup more than the Sierra National Team World Cup?
Man, no, right? Good question. No, but I'll tell you that the Club World Cup, it took the place of the Confederations Cup, right? And I thought that was a brilliant move, wonderful. Whatever the ranking is and all that, and to hold it there to test the stadiums in the United States. Yeah.
That's it. He went there.
Yeah, with this club, this team, yeah, this Club World Cup, I thought it was really cool.
No, and it's really cool that we can see something we never get the chance to, right? Because you only get to play in the Club World Cup or Intercontinental Cup if you win the Libertadores. Yeah, and if you get past 2 or 3 teams there, right, you had the chance to see Fluminense play against Manchester City. There aren't that many good memories, but just having the chance to see a match like that, right? And then to make up for it, reaching the semifinals last year.
No, it was amazing. The run was amazing.
Nope. Did you think you stood out there?
Ashina, I thought so, right? Because, man, it was insanely hot. Those Europeans were kind of tired, yeah. And they actually wanted a vacation. And then the team started getting into gear, right? The first game was against that team, bias, Borussia Dortmund, right? It was incredible, right? Everything.
People expected Fluminense to lose badly, but they won and dominated, right?
They dominated. And from there it went on, right? I see.
Milan?
Yeah, and since Milan, it was amazing too. And then, man, Chelsea came along. Was it Chelsea?
Yeah, it was Chelsea in the semifinals.
Yeah, João Pedro, man. They bought João Pedro 2 days before for the price of 3 Fluminense teams. He goes there and scores 2 great goals.
He joined mid-competition and made a difference, right?
He made the difference. Unbelievable.
No championship permits that. It's against the rules.
But in this one, it's allowed, and then it's Alvilão. We eliminated them, and Alvilão hadn't lost in I don't know how long, and since then they haven't lost again. Alvilão's last defeat was to Bono's last defeat, who played against,
The goalkeeper, Bono, right?
it was against Fluminense.
Morocco. Was crazy, right? Damn, that's crazy. And then you had those events, Botafogo beating Paris Saint-Germain, right? Yeah, unbelievable.
They played really well, They managed to defend well, but it's really cool to have the opportunity to see these matchups. I thought it was great too. The Club World Cup, I thought it was amazing. It's true that maybe the Europeans don't give the competition the value it deserves, right? Because, it's vacation time, they're tired, it's the end of the season. But having the chance to see matchups like this, man, it's really cool.
Really cool.
That's true. Cool. And Dado, you haven't really talked about seeing Fluminense play in Paris. Was that when you became a fan? Was your father a fan, or did your family influence you?
Man, no, my father and my mother, zero interest in soccer. My father was a classical pianist, kind of like a diplomat,
Did he really like soccer or not?
He didn't, not at all, zero.
He wasn't a Fluminense fan.
No. He didn't have a team, he wasn't interested in soccer. But what happened was exactly the 1970 World Cup that we watched, man, and Felix was the goalkeeper. And Felix was from our team. And then I remember when, man, we won, man, Felix Fluminense, I don't know what else. I asked for a goalkeeper glove as a Christmas present. Thinking about Felix and everything. Then, man, it was Fluminense, right? I think it was a time when the teams from Rio had a lot of influence everywhere in Brazil. Because I was in Brasilia, right? And so you started to have Canal 100, right? You could watch the games at Maracanã. It was amazing. And then in '76, I went there to see Fluminense at that stadium playing in that tournament. And I said, man, I'm a Fluminense fan. Man, are you crazy? And it was the...
And
Rivellino was the idol, right, man? And he walked past me injured. I said, my God.
you mentioned Felix. Do you support Fabio in this World Cup? Did you want him called up? Does he deserve it? Is he being treated unfairly?
He deserved it. I think so, I think so, I think so. Yeah, I think Fabio, not to be the main goalkeeper, but as the third goalkeeper, I think he has a lot to teach those guys there, right?
Yeah, because Everton got a lot of criticism, right? Everton was called up and nobody expected it.
Yeah, that's true, because those other guys, Bento and Hugo Souza, right? Yeah, Hugo Souza, that's right. It was tough.
Right? I didn't have that much faith either, maybe only because Everton had more experience. I'm an Alisson hater, right? I say it, Joan says it too. We don't like Alisson. I just think to be Brazil's goalkeeper, you need to perform miracles. You have to grab the ball to put someone that I know well. I want you to do it. I'm going to put you in so you can perform miracles. But when? Yeah. And Alisson, in the 2 World Cups he played, he didn't perform that miracle. I don't want him to just do the basics. Well, actually I do, but a miracle like that, saving that ball against Croatia, he had to get it. Saving a penalty against Croatia, you know, he had the opportunities to shine. Taffarel was questioned a lot, but when things got tough, he went there and saved Massaro's penalty that gave us our 4th title, right? So that's a point. He saved a penalty in the semi-final against the Netherlands in '98. He saved 2 penalties. Koku stepped up to take the kick. He was there. It's classic, kind of classic. Anyway, but that's just what I believe. It's just me venting, really, almost.
Yeah, I get it. But Alisson is a huge idol over there in Liverpool, right, man? It's impressive. They even have a song for him and everything.
He played better at the club than for the Brazilian national team, right?
And with Alisson, you have to bring the hairdresser along. There are things that really...
It's longer hair?
Yeah, now he let it grow out, but he's starting to go bald in front.
It's kind of like Casio, right? He's kind of looking like Casio there.
Right. And then the other day, I saw someone sent me this thing on WhatsApp. It was an interview with the old school player and the pretty boy player, right, Caio? So the rise was, it was Romario saying, look, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't give it up. My problem is women. If there's any problem with me, it's just women. All right, go on. Then the Nutella was Rafinha being interviewed by one of those influencers. So Rafinha, what's in your toiletry bag? Then Rafinha grabs a Louis Vuitton. She takes it out and says, I have Angelique here, which is really good for the skin, and the shampoo is awesome, man.
Man, it's awesome.
Man,
That's soccer.